All right, what's happening? This is Austin from Support Your Local Tattooer. Super excited here today to be with my man, Bicycle Bob. He's been riding his bike across the country, and this is not his first time doing it. And he was nice enough to stop in with us today. He rides his bicycle, tattoos, camps along the way, occasional seedy motel.
Yep. The
And
seedier the better.
a lot of characters in between.
Oh, yeah.
Which is super, super rad. So, shit, yeah, dude. Thanks for coming. I appreciate
thanks for
it.
having me, man. Yeah, it's good to see you again.
Yeah. So we just got done having breakfast and having a lot of fun conversations about tattooing in general.
Yep.
And your adventures. And then it's all kind of led us here today, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
in the making.
Yeah, dude, give me a little synopsis on your trip right now. Like you started.
Oh, I started out of Denver in beginning of August. So it's been about 10 weeks now, and it was 3,500 miles through 6 states: Colorado, Utah, Idaho, Oregon, California, and Vegas, or Nevada. So yeah, 6 days, 3,500 miles.
Damn, and we're talking legitimate bicycle, packed up, all
pedaling,
your gear.
Yep, loaded
no
up.
electric bike bullshit around here.
Nope, no e-bikes.
You're doing gnarly hill climbs.
Fucking yeah. I mean, sometimes walking them up for a couple miles.
Really?
Yeah, but what goes up's got to come down, and like to get to the top of a mountain pass and then hop on, and you're hitting 45, 50 miles an hour on a good day coming down those passes, man. Yeah.
And the bike's jams, dude, with all the weight on it, right?
Yeah, but it handles like a Cadillac, man. When it's all loaded up, it rides better loaded. I mean, it's built for this, It rides better loaded than unloaded. It just feels super stable and cruisy, man. It's a good time for sure.
And like on average, like how many miles are you doing a day?
I mean, on good days, I'm hitting 100 pluses. On average days, I would say 70 to 80. On mellow days, maybe 50 or 60. Yeah.
Dude, and 70 to 80 on an incline is completely different. Obviously, like if you're doing some of your like all day climbs.
Yep. I mean, just even getting over here, was it yesterday, I guess? Like I went through Mojave National Preserve. And it wasn't even a steep climb. It was like a 2% grade, which isn't much, but it went on for like 40 miles or something. So you're riding at like maybe under 10 miles per hour for, so it's like a 4-hour climb, man,
Holy shit.
But then, some of them are steeper and hopefully shorter, and it seems to go like the steeper they're going to be, the shorter it's going to be. But I mean, every day's different. Every climb's different. Everything's always different. Yeah.
I love that, dude. It keeps you on your toes.
Yeah. Every day's different, man. I think that's the thing I fell in love with about it is that like, you just don't know what each day is going to bring. You don't know what challenges you're going to have. You don't know the people you're going to meet. You don't know what's over the horizon every day, man. And it's that sense of adventure, that newness of like, what is going to happen today? That keeps the pedals turning, man. Yeah.
And you're always incorporating guest spots for tattooing into these long rides, or?
I mean, I haven't always.
Really?
My first bicycle tour was not tattooing, and it was. It was for my 40th birthday that was coming up in 2016. I rode from San Francisco to New York just to do it without having any experience of bicycle touring at all. Like I was riding road bikes a little bit when I was living in Colorado and had the stamina to do 100-mile days and stuff. But this was the first pack up camping gear and set out and cross state lines and get from one coast to the other and see what happens.
And you got some GPS type units like that help you, or like?
Yeah, I mean, I just use Google Maps on my phone for the most part. There's more established routes that you could get, maps and stuff like that. But especially when I was first started, I really didn't know what I was doing. I would use Google Maps and just as long as I was going east, I knew I was going the right way. And I would, make up decisions and make up routes as I would go and just kind of try and get from point A to point B every day and set a goal and try and get there too. Yeah.
How often are you scheduling days off? I mean, you can't. How many days in a row can you do 70 to 100 miles a day?
I mean, shit, man. That's that first tour I ever did. Okay, so it broke down to I left San Francisco. I think it was like August 5th, right? My 40th birthday was September 21st. I grew up in New York. My family still lives in New York. I wanted to pull up to the house that I grew up in on my 40th birthday.
Uh,
So I had 45 days to do it. I rode 39 out of those 45 days, and I rode 3,940 miles. So it was averaging 100 plus a day.
oh my God.
Yeah, but I was also, that was, the goal was to get to the other side. So it was ride all day. Like I wasn't really stopping to do other things. I would
Yeah.
pack up my camping gear and just ride until I was done for today, set it up, keep going. I didn't like really stop at national parks and like, stop to sniff the roses or anything. It was just
Yeah.
like, I'm on this mission. I'm on a go. Let's do it. And it was awesome, man. I accomplished a goal. I actually was so ahead of schedule that I added on extra states that I wasn't planning on going through
Oh, that's cool.
because I wanted to pull up on my birthday. So yeah. So when that was done, I was living in Durango, Colorado, and I went back, man, and like I couldn't go back to a stagnant lifestyle, man. Like it had infected me,
Really?
and I'd done guest spots and stuff, and not tattooing, not riding bikes, just doing guest spots, and yeah, it just hit me like, why not do both, man? So
Yeah.
I started selling off everything I own, and it took maybe 10 months to slowly purge myself of all my personal possessions. And yeah, and then it came the day, it was in June of 2017, that the only thing I had left was what was on my bike. And I hit the road to do it full time, and it lasted 3 years and 9 days, I think, until COVID shut it down. It was 2017 to 2020. It was 16,000 plus miles, 32 states. I was trying to do 50, but COVID
Yeah.
shut it down.
Oh,
And it was like 65 shops or something like
no
that, man. And
shit,
that was the
dude.
first time doing a tattooing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was like, okay, we're gonna guest spot, we're gonna hop spot to spot to spot to spot. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well,
And you see you mentioned kind of earlier is like a lot of your guest spots are just literally just word of mouth and like somebody connects you with the next person and the next person. I mean,
yeah, man. I mean, it just
you're not
like
like
that.
you don't have like a tour manager type
No, it's
mentality
all
when
me
you
just,
go on it, right?
hitting chops up
Yeah.
and in the beginning when I first started, I was just kind of bouncing around and doing whatever, walk-ins came in and stuff like that. But by the third year of me doing it back then, my social media kind of grew and I started becoming, known for my drawings as well as like this dude's riding around and it was rad. At that point, towards the end, I would set it up by season. So I would list like 10 or 12 shops that I'm going to be for spring or summer or whatever, and hit me up if you want a part of it. And I was fortunate enough that, man, people were into it, and most shops I would go, I was had a pretty decent schedule, and I would
Yeah.
book for just the days that I needed to be there. And then it would be like, all right, well, I got to go. And I got 200 miles to get to the next spot. So I
Yeah.
got to go, And so, yeah,
Yeah.
it was a trip, man. Yeah, it was
I
definitely
remember the
something.
first time I met you and you rolled in the shop and I was just
Yeah,
like, "What the fuck? This is
yeah,
so wild!" You had your bike and everything, and we were just all gathered around, and we were just so fascinated with trying to figure out how the fuck you got everything on there, and
yeah,
how it just seems like such a foreign thing. Like most people, there's not too many people that are like grinding out that many miles on a bike and fucking
yeah,
much less like turning it into this cool lifestyle of like traveling and getting to meet new people, and
yeah.
it's really cool, man. I was
Yeah,
like,
it's
very
combining two
fulfilling, yeah.
passions, man, that work
Yeah.
really well together,
So
man.
after that long ride from East Coast to West Coast, that's when you literally were it just switched for you and you were just, I'm not going back to this regular as
It took it because at the time before that, man, I was definitely had East Coast work ethic, where I was working 6 7 days a week tattooing. I was
Yeah.
getting a little burnt out, man, and I took a step back to do that and think about what I wanted out of tattooing and I did kind of come back with like, okay, I need to start setting a little bit more parameters where I'm just doing a 5 day work week and I'm not, because I always have a great time with the clients, man, and I have a tendency to become friends with them as we all do. And then like, somebody will roll in, be like trying to get an appointment, but it's a couple months out, and then they're like, hey man, and you're like, oh, well, I'll come in on my day off, and
Yeah.
next thing you know, you're giving off most of
Yeah.
your days off, or you're
Yeah.
at work,
It's hard to say no.
so. I was like, okay, I'm gonna, go to a Monday through Friday. I'm not gonna do weekends anymore. I'm gonna start taking more time for myself. But man, it wasn't soon after that I got back, and I was like, this is all right. But I just missed that adventure, man.
Yeah.
Like, and yeah, it was probably about a month or two, and after I returned, that I was just like, wheels are turning. plotting and scheming. All right, let's do this. Yeah, let's go out there full
Dang.
time, man. Yeah.
And then like yeah, I don't kind of, we were kind of talking about too like how like everything that you do have on that bike, it, like you said at the time was everything you owned, and
Mm-hmm.
you got your coil machines in there, you got power supplies, you
Mm-hmm.
got I
Steel
mean
tubes.
steel tubes.
Fucking steel tubes, man.
You're literally
Yeah.
carrying all of the heaviest old school materials too.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
How many coil machines are you trying to rocket? Like four at
Oh
least, right? I would
man,
think.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was probably I was probably on rotaries by then.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But like slide rotaries and
Yeah.
Coupons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably had 3 or 4 is kind of my setup.
Yeah.
The twos were definitely the heaviest thing, but
Fuck yeah.
power unit, ink, like needles on bars, and yeah. I would imagine my tattoo gear was 40 or 50 pounds
Oh
on
my
that bike.
God.
Yeah, totally.
That's so crazy. And you said the bike was getting up to like 160 plus
Yeah,
or
man.
around
Yeah, it was
160.
160 pounds with camping gear, and tattoo gear and clothes for different seasons, and cooking gear, and depending on what food I was carrying with me, depending on how what was available from one spot to the next. Sometimes you gotta prepare for 2 days of maybe not being able to get any supplies.
Yeah, then that kind of brings up like I don't know. I just wanted to know like if there's anything that ever really like you obviously everything is unplanned, so
Hmm.
and shit can get weird at any point in time.
Sure.
So you're out there for a couple days, like sometimes
So I
between
would say like
like one night and then
yeah, it could be. It
yeah,
could be, man. Like it could be 140 miles of not being able, or 150, depending
dang,
on where you are. And those areas are usually going to be the desert, right? So
yeah,
like desert shit, man, you better have water. You better have, like,
minimal to no like
uh,
reception to at times,
yeah,
and
yeah, absolutely,
yeah.
man. Yeah, yeah.
And at night you're pulling off, and you mentioned you're just kind of like you see what like a little portion of a little mountain or something in the
Yeah,
corner,
I
or
mean,
like
it's a total location,
yeah.
like dictates
And generally, there's
scenario.
like always like barbed wire or something like running a lot like on private
Well,
land, and
yeah, I'm not pushing onto anybody's private land like that. But it's more so the desert area where you start getting into stuff where there's a lot of BLM land,
yeah,
which is open camping,
yeah,
and stuff. And but sometimes, yeah, if it's just like you're on the road and the sun's going down and a car hasn't even passed in the past 45 minutes.
oh
You're
shit,
kind of out there and just there's nothing around. It's all just open, and then just push off, go behind a shrub, throw up your tent, get some sleep. I'm gonna be waking up as soon as the sun comes up
yeah.
and packing it up, and I'm
Especially in the
out
desert,
again,
it's getting
man.
fucking hot, dude.
Yeah,
It's real cold at
yeah,
night, and then
yeah. But I
so
ain't doing that in cities.
no, I know, yeah. So you'll jump. That's where you'll start jumping into some hotels or
Yeah, I'll
crash
get
with
a
some
cheap
friends or something.
motel, or
Yeah,
I mean, when I'm working at spots, I'm gonna do Airbnb, motel, kind of stuff like that.
yeah,
Or if I know the tattooers and we've hung out before and they offer me a place to stay, I'll stay with somebody.
Any weird critters trying to get in the tent in the middle of the night?
Ooh,
I don't.
man, I do remember a squirrel. I was in Alaska, man, and a squirrel popped its head in, and I was in this super trippy deep sleep, man, and it made this crazy squirrel noise that I've never heard a squirrel make. I guess maybe they breed them differently up there. I don't know.
It's bigger. It's
And
larger
it woke
squirrels.
me up and spooked me out, where I didn't know what it was at first, and then I thought it was like some weird ancient spirit or something.
Oh shit.
But other than that, man, I've always kept my tent zipped up. I think it was open just a little bit for him to
Yeah.
get his head in there. I've never had a bear encounter at night that I know of.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, all those kind of things weigh on your mind, but thank God I've never really had to deal with anything too severe.
Do you carry like bear spray or anything like that or no?
The
Or
only
any?
time I think I really did was when I was in Alaska.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, yeah. And I started not, I took the ferry up there and I was tattooing in Juneau, and there's a glacier state park that I was camping out. It's like a 12, 13-mile ride back and forth to downtown Juneau where the shop was. And I was there for like a day or two doing that back and forth. I hadn't seen any bears. And I had a consultation with a Coast Guard dude. And he came in and we went over his consultation and we started talking about this trip. And he's like, oh, where you staying? Blah, blah, blah. He's like, you got bear spray? I was like, nah, it's cool, man. He's like,
Got bear
No, it's
spray.
not
Yeah,
cool,
it's not
dude.
cool.
So the next day he showed up with Coast Guard issued bear spray, and he's
Oh,
like,
that's
"Keep
cool.
this in your handlebar bag where you could reach it." And
Oh, that's cool.
but yeah, I never had a bullet on anything. So yeah, but yeah, better to have it and not use it than not have it and need to use it,
No
I
doubt.
guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that how it
Yeah.
goes?
You see, you're also mentioning like a lot of real good positive messages and stuff that people have been sending you over the
Yeah,
years, which
yeah.
is I love to hear. Like that's a really cool thing.
I mean,
People are
that's
reaching
where
out to
like,
you, and
we're living in this age of social media, man, and like it could be, unhealthy at times, and it could be, comparison to all this other shit, and like, oh, I didn't get enough likes on this or that, So there's definitely those connotations of social media, right?
yeah,
But then like when I go out and I start doing stuff like this, man, I do get a lot of people that write some really kind encouraging words as they follow me along this trip, and
yeah,
that's the one thing, man. When you're out here solo, it adds a different element where sometimes you go a day or two with not having a full conversation other than like ordering your coffee or your breakfast and stuff, and you're out there by yourself and you're in your head a lot, and
yeah,
that's an element that you got to learn how to deal with. But to sometimes just get a little cheer from your corner, man,
yeah,
somebody out there just kind of, rooting you on a little bit, offer you encouragement. It means a lot, kind of, and I think that's the positive side, I think, of social media could offer, that
yeah,
like,
totally.
they're excited to watch you do it, man. I had a part in this trip too in the beginning where a fellow tattooer got inspired to go ride his bike, you know, um, just for a day,
Yeah,
and he had tagged me in his stories. Mr. Scoltella, I think his name is. He's out in Pennsylvania, and he got me thinking like, oh, okay, let's do a week of go ride your bike somewhere, tag me in your story, and I'll repost you, and let's just let's total up the mileage and see how far we could all get.
oh, cool.
And it got people out there riding their bikes, and that was cool, dude. It was like a little fun week for people to get involved and kind of ride alongside of me from like remote riding challenge.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was fun.
I like the idea of that at the end of the day, like when the sun's setting, that's just kind of when you just decide, like, this
That's
is where
it.
I'm at, and I
Yeah,
can't,
yeah,
you
yeah,
can't really push on in the complete
yeah.
darkness or anything.
I
It's
mean, I
not safe.
have, it's
Really?
not my favorite thing. Yeah, I got lights, and I'll have a headlamp and stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I've ridden to 2, 3 in the morning at
No
times.
shit. Just
Yeah.
for whatever, right?
Yeah,
It's just
just like
feeling it
I'm gonna
and like,
see like the Cross America journey when I was trying, had this goal.
yeah.
It happened more on that, where I think I did my biggest day I ever rode was 206 miles in a day, and I rode till like probably 2 in the morning to do it.
No way.
Well,
Damn.
yeah,
Damn. It seems like very peaceful, but like you said, it's sometimes like, I'm sure you kind of deal with some loneliness creeping in or something,
oh
or
yeah,
just like
yeah,
the idea of being disconnected though sounds beautiful.
yeah. I mean, it's everything. It's
Yeah.
both sides of it, dude. Like
Yeah.
with anything else, dude. There's pendulums, and one day you're having like this amazing epic experience, man, and you're also you're riding an endorphin high of exercise.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're seeing beautiful things that you wouldn't have seen if you were in a car or whatever, and then the very next day you could be dealing with, headwinds that are debilitating,
Oh yeah.
long climbs, cloudy, gray, sometimes rainy weather, all this kind of stuff that like, that kind of creeps into your psyche, and it starts, ugh, man. And, you try to block out the complaining in your head that could happen sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
this isn't fun today.
Yeah.
But the next day is gonna, there's never been a day that at the end of it, I just didn't want to be doing it. It was like, okay, today's over. We got through some shit. We feel accomplished. Tomorrow's a brand new day. Let's see what happens tomorrow.
And the more you do it, the more you know that those things will go through, and it's
Oh,
just this
absolutely.
constant
And it's a
exercise.
muscle you
Yeah,
exercise
like memory
that
muscle.
gets,
Yeah.
that you
Muscle
get
memory.
better at dealing with. And that's been one thing I've noticed too. When I take a break from the bicycle touring, usually the first couple of days, that if that negative-ish mindset starts seeping in, it's harder to push it out and ignore than when you're doing it all the time. You get better at not listening to that nagginess in your
Yeah. No
head
shit. Yeah.
sometimes, and you start thinking about the better times while you're pushing through it, man. And Yeah, but
That's
it's a
cool.
muscle. It's a muscle that you
Yeah.
need to get going again, and just like you got to get your legs going again. You got to get, a lot of those stuff going with it too.
I keep
Yeah.
thinking about this like Forrest Gump type moment where you just kind of stop, and you're just like, I think I want to go home
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
Everybody around you is like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. I mean, I had it on this trip, dude. The stretch from San Francisco to LA kind of started getting me beat up. Highway 1 by Big Sur was shut down, so I had to go inland.
Oh, okay.
Inland brought in cloudy days and gray overcast. And just riding through farmlands isn't the most scenic,
Yeah.
And I definitely hit the wall of like, man, I'm homesick. I kind of want to go home. I know I'm not going to call it.
Yeah.
And I had to work through it. And I got to LA and tattooed in LA. And then, like, I'm so glad I left the desert for, the final chapter or final stage of this tour. Because coming out the past 4 days through all the desert's my favorite area in the country, man.
Really?
Either,
Yeah.
California, Nevada, southern Utah, northern Arizona. I just love desert. The sun's bright and strong and sunny and blue skies. And
Yeah.
it's hot and
Yeah.
it'll get you, but like, there's just something bright and sunny and happy for me in the deserts. So yeah, like this stretch from LA to here was a complete 180 of that, where I almost don't want to go home now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's time to go home, and I think this is going to be a yearly thing. Yeah,
That's awesome. I'm super excited about that. Like I said, I want to help you like in any way we can. I
I
think it would be
appreciate it.
really cool. I've just always been a big fan of what you do.
Yeah.
I keep thinking about those, just like the sunsets too. I just keep going
Oh,
back to
dude.
like it just seems like such a peaceful. Like sometimes in the morning, is there like a little mental hurdles you got to get yourself over? You're like,
I mean, to get up
or
and
is that
pack
more
up
of
camp
exciting?
sometimes, sometimes I'm a little lazy, and
Yeah,
if it's a little chilly in the morning, it's gonna take me a little bit more to go. But no, you kind of get on it and get it done. There's parts that like sometimes you want to like you're like, okay, I need to start before the sun gets up,
yeah,
because there's certain elements I'm gonna have to deal with today, hot sun or. I was in Colorado. There was days that I knew it was going to be straight on headwinds at like 20, 25 miles per hour, but they come in the afternoon. So it's
ooh,
like I remember hitting the road at like 4:30 one morning just to get as many miles covered before those winds started picking up.
ooh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that's just kind of like, okay, let's do this. Let's see where we get, and
Dang.
hopefully they don't get too bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it though. Are you drawing ever like out there? I mean, just kind of and
I wish I wish
you
I had
just
more time for that. I mean, there's
yeah,
there's been times where okay, like if I'm going to take a day off, I might get a motel and get into my sketchbook. But the actual ride days are tough because they're riding all day
it's kind
long.
of just business that day. Get
Yeah,
it
and at
done.
the end of the day, I just don't have the energy to sit and draw. With this tour, it was planned probably 6 months in advance, where I had my clients booked and I did all the drawings pre leaving for the tour, emailed the drawings out, got them approved, because everything had to be ready to go.
Yeah,
You walk in, you got 4 hours or 5 hours of my time. Because as I'm breaking down after we're done, it's a good chance that next one's walking in. So
yeah,
there's no like, we need to make last minute adjustments. And I encourage people like, let me know what you think, and we could work on stuff. But it's got to be approved
yeah,
before I get there because it's crunch time, man.
yeah.
Like, yeah, bang out this one, no one's coming in. So yeah, I mean, it's been a while since I really had the pleasure of just kind of diving into a sketchbook with a cup of coffee, and I think that's what I'm looking forward to getting home and getting back to like
Yeah.
just having fun drawing now, man.
Is there any? I don't know why I was just thinking about like how nice it would be at the end of the day when you finally find a place or you get a hotel and you're like, you know what, I fucking want like a chicken fried steak or something. Like eat some shit that you normally
Dude,
wouldn't eat, but you've been
dude.
riding your bike all day long and you need to catch up, like you said, on the
Oh yeah,
calories and
yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
and feel no guilt about just eating the
It's
most epic meal.
so funny you said that because my meal of this trip was chicken fried steak and
Really?
rice for breakfast, dude. I was reviewing them around the country,
Ah,
man.
that's so
I
fun.
had posted a couple on my stories of like this is the new number one.
That's great, dude.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
and
for
like
some reason what I
I
think
mean,
is
I
like,
try to eat pretty sensibly at home, man. Like I don't eat processed food, and
yeah,
I try, sometimes I cut out sugar, like any type of sugar. Well, I guess not fructose and fruit
yeah,
and stuff, but like all added sugars for like, a good month or so, which I'm going to do when I go back home.
yeah,
But this has been like donuts, fucking
Just
fountain
living it up. Yeah.
sodas. Like there was one, and it's crazy, man, because there was one day where I'm like sitting outside this little convenience store, and I got myself a cream soda, like maybe an A&W cream soda, right?
Oh, okay.
And it was just hitting so good, man. I'm like,
Really?
God damn, why is this so fucking good? And then
'Cause
I
you work
flipped the
for that
label
shit.
around, and it was like, it's got 146% of your daily sugar
Oh,
intake in
wow.
this
Yeah, yeah.
one bottle,
Whoa. Yeah, I don't drink. Yeah.
alongside of donuts I've eaten and all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
it's like, all right, well, you're burning it,
Yeah.
like I'm
Yeah, yeah.
burning, 4 or 5,000 calories someday. So I
Yeah,
can
that's
afford to
crazy,
do
dude.
it. But
Yeah.
I also don't want to go home addicted to sugar where I'm going to be like, on
Jump.
the sugar kick and not burning the calories now,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, there's definitely, I allow myself to cheat a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine you learn a lot about your body too when you're going through these things. Like,
Oh yeah.
when you're
Yeah.
out there, you're like you learn how far to push yourself and when you need
Mm-hmm.
this or when you need that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's days where you kind of hit the wall sometimes. It's like, all right, we're only doing 50 miles today,
Really. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's been a couple of spots, like I think when I got to Portland, man, ended up getting there a couple days early, and I ended up sleeping like 10 or 12 hours a night for 2 nights straight, man.
Just for whatever
Like
reason.
my
Just
body just needed that, like
yeah.
catch up on some rest, man, and
Yeah.
heal itself a little bit. Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, I don't know. It just sounds like you obviously learned so much about yourself mentally and physically,
Oh,
and you're pushing
absolutely.
yourself to limits that like most people aren't doing, which is really
Yeah.
cool. And
Yeah.
consistently too,
Yeah. Yeah.
which just make you stronger and
Yeah.
more, putting in your reps.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You
I
feel like
mean,
you're
all that.
healthier than you've ever been in your life?
I would say as I'm getting older, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just turned 49 on this trip, and I feel pretty damn good about it.
Yeah.
It's not what I thought I would be when I was younger. But like a lot of tattooers, man, I was a partier when
Yeah.
I started in the late 90s, and tattooers were definitely partiers back then, more so than now. And I put my body through a lot of bullshit, man,
Yeah.
alcohol, drugs, all that kind of stuff, and good time Charlie shit, and
Yeah.
then, as I'm getting older, I have the less desire for any of that. I feel like I've been there and done that. And I started, getting more into health conscious kind of living and realizing the overall mental health and clarity of mind and all this kind of stuff that comes from taking care of yourself better.
Yeah.
And you just don't bounce back as easy as
No.
you
Yeah.
start pushing 50, man,
You just get to the point where it's just not even worth it. So I'm
Yeah,
not
it's not even
interested in
it's
it.
not even
Yeah.
that fun anymore, man.
No,
I used to
exactly.
love to get drunk,
Yeah.
and if I catch a buzz nowadays, like I don't even enjoy it. I'm like, meh.
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody changes, everyone grows in different directions, and I think it's a healthier direction that I'm kind of proud to be going in that
Good.
direction for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Where'd you start? Get into tattooing? You were on the East Coast?
Yeah, I started in New York, man.
Yeah.
I started my apprenticeship in 1997 at Peter Tattoo and on Long Island and Eric Desmond. And started tattooing in '98. So that
Yeah.
was my start out.
And you
sure.
spent a lot of time, you were saying, just kind of in one place. You weren't really traveling earlier in your career, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
not so much, man. This is also the era of tattooing pre-social media,
Yeah.
where guest spotting was different, man. Like you couldn't just jump online and reach out to somebody and be
yeah.
like, "Hey, can I come hang out?" Like it almost like you had to be invited.
Yeah.
You had to know people. You had to be invited.
Yeah.
I don't think I did my first guest spot until 2003, maybe, where a coworker was friends with a dude that had a shop on Maui in Lahaina, and he needed somebody to come help with some shifts, and he ended up setting me up with that. And I had been tattooing for 5-ish years, and my first experience with it was to fly to Hawaii, get picked up at the Maui airport by this dude that I've never met before.
Yeah.
And I spent a month with him. He put me up with his family, and I worked for him and all this kind of stuff.
Whoa.
And I actually visited him on this trip. He's up in Eugene, Oregon. Shout out to Felix, and stayed with him again.
Cool.
So yeah, and that was the trip, man, because it was like he opened up my eyes to this possibility of like, oh fuck, you could go work anywhere.
Anywhere, yeah.
And there's a community sense, and people can help you out along the way. So yeah, that was the first ever guest spot I ever did.
That's a nice spot.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'll definitely.
I went back every year for
That's what I was
like,
gonna say. Yeah.
I think through, the
Yeah.
2010 or something. I went back almost every year. I might have skipped a year here and there.
Yeah.
But
What
yeah, that was
What
like
was that
my,
shop?
it was called Atomic Tattoo, which I'm
Okay.
not sure if it's still there. Like I said,
Well,
Felix
yeah.
is in Eugene. Maybe somebody else took it over or something like that. Well, actually,
Yeah.
no, it's not
I
there
mean
because
Lahaina.
Lahaina.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 The tragedy in Lahaina, which was sad because that was a magical place for me to go for
Yeah.
a month every winter, man. And I still keep in touch with people I met in that town, and yeah, it had a great vibe to it for sure.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, and man, you were dropping so many names today that I was just like, oh shit, they haven't these days, things get out of your algorithm or whatever, and you just don't get to
Mm,
hear all these great names, and
Yep.
it's cool that you consistently now are getting out there and probably doing more guest spots than anybody I fucking know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I go on my streaks. It was
yeah,
definitely, the full time thing was a thing, and then I feel like when I settled back down in Colorado after COVID, it's kind of slow. Like I slowed down a little bit on it, but I'm trying to like get back out and have fun with it, and yeah, and just go meet people that I have never met before that I've always looked at as for inspiration or search their stuff to reference how to
yeah.
do cool fucking
That's cool.
tattoos, man. So yeah, to go sit with them and work in the same room with people like that is definitely where I want to be right now.
You're extremely good at pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. That's for damn sure. It
Yeah,
seems,
yeah,
or maybe this is like your new level of comfort zone.
Right. This is the comfort zone.
Right?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
me to sit in one space and stay still is the non-comfort zone.
Yeah, that's
Which
interesting.
I guess there's something to say
It's
about
like
that
coming off a
too.
tour, and I don't know. I've always heard about that. And like,
Well, that was
you
a
don't know how to
thing, dude.
readjust.
That
Like when you
was a
get back
thing
home.
when COVID shut it down, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, I went through his. So like, I was before I was full time traveling. I was in Durango, Colorado. COVID hit. I didn't know what to do, so I ended up back there, to post up for a year. It's a small little mountain town where I have,
yeah,
community friends still there, and I just kind of post up to see what happens with the whole pandemic and all. And it was definitely something I struggled with, where I went from constantly on the move to boom, stagnant.
ugh,
What the fuck do I do with myself? I would
yeah,
pace around my apartment like, oh, man, and
yeah,
it's kind of the way I ended up in Denver. Is my buddy Dave Regan, he spent, I don't know, 3 or 4 years like traveling and tattooing himself. He was all through America, then Europe and Germany and Iceland and all this kind of shit. And he was settled down in Denver before this, and he was out till death. And I just called him up to be like, "Hey, man, did you go through this? Because this is more of a challenge, and me can't
yeah,
constantly moving and sitting still." And he's like, "Oh yeah," and he's like, "I was down in Durango. He was up in Denver. He's like, I know it's not that far away, but if you want to come up here for a weekend, or whatever, to just be moving a little bit,
yeah,
let me know." And I was like, "Yeah, we'll see, man. I just got to Durango. I had only been there for like a month or something. I was
yeah,
losing my mind." And I was like, "I don't know. I'm trying to work it out." But I think the very next day I hit him up like, "Let's do this, man."
All right.
And I ended up, that was the first time I went to Till Death for a guest spot, and then I just started kind of going up there regularly, and yeah, I just kind of wedged myself into that shop. A year later or something like that.
Yeah.
So I've been up there for 4 years now.
Dang, yeah, and
Yeah.
and till death.
Yeah.
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 So you're right in that. It was the Rhino District.
Yeah, it's right on the
Yeah,
district.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
really cool area in Denver.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's got some
There's
fun
some
stuff
good ass
going on.
food down there. I had some
Yeah.
stellar tacos at some little
Right on,
spot that was
yeah.
like it was like a
I mean,
fancy taco spot.
green
But
chili is my favorite thing in the fucking
yeah,
country. That
yeah,
a lot of other states don't know what green chili is.
yeah. Is it different? That's different than the New Mexico, the
No,
hatch
I mean
chilies.
it's the hatch chilies.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the Colorado. I mean,
Okay.
I'm sure the New Mexico people would not agree with this statement, but
Yeah,
it's similar. But like, yeah, there's
yeah,
a fight over who's got better green chili. But it is the hatch green chili kind of stuff. But like,
yeah,
you start getting outside of that, Southwest territory, and I mean, say you're in, I don't know, Maine. Like people think green chili is like, what you mean, a jalapeno?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Or whatever type of chili that happens to be the color green.
yeah,
They don't know what hatch green chili means.
yeah.
Yeah.
The amount of characters that you met too over the years and like in these guest spots, like I don't know, you have any advice for like younger tattooers? I think that there's a huge value in the guest spot, cool,
Absolutely, yeah,
practicing guest spots.
yeah.
even though I admittedly don't do them and haven't ever
Oh, I
done
mean, you
them
got a
because,
lot on your plate as
yeah,
it is, man. I imagine that would be hard to
yeah.
get away and do them.
But it's my goal is to get back into it. Like I
Yeah,
want to get back
yeah,
into tattooing as soon as I get a chance to level some things out and stuff,
right, yeah, yeah,
But I don't know, man. It's like I feel like it's such a healthy thing to put yourself in those uncomfortable positions,
yeah.
be around people, kind of pushes you to perform,
I think they're
you know.
inspirational, man.
Yeah,
You know, and I, I mean, I think there is something to say that, like, I don't want this to sound like an ego stroke or something, but like if I'm going to work with somebody I haven't met before and I look up to their work, I'm gonna try and throw down, man. You
right? Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
not that I don't try to throw down at home, but it's like it gives you that
Just puts
little
that
extra,
added
like,
boost.
yo, I want to
Yeah,
show you what I can do too. You
yeah,
know, like so yeah, I mean, there's something about that. There's something about just being around and being inspired by other tattooers. Um, yeah, I think it's beneficial, man. I think everyone should try and get out there a little bit and go work outside your comfort zone. And
yeah.
if you're not used to it, it's definitely a thing that, like, if you're only used to sitting in your station where everything where it's at, man, it's gonna be a fucking
Yeah,
clusterfuck of
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, what's going like,
It's
and
like,
I
well,
remember going through all those growing pains, man. That if I wasn't at my station where I didn't have to look to grab stuff.
yeah,
Uh, Damn, dude, I would start sweating, man, But
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I
yeah.
could tattoo in a fucking porta potty right now, and
Right.
I don't think it would be hygienically.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, totally. But I mean, I could set up anywhere and just
Yeah,
be comfortable now because I've worked at so many different stations, and
yeah.
that doesn't kind of put me off anymore, which is cool.
And the exercise of just being around like all these unique characters too, because you're picking up on probably every single shop you walk in, you're picking up on kind of some interesting vibes,
Mm-hmm.
some positive, some negative.
Sure.
We
Yeah.
talked about that
Yeah.
earlier
Yeah.
today, even on my own shop experience. It's
Oh, you guys were great when I
it's
came through.
adventurous,
But I
and
mean, yeah,
it's
I didn't know you guys when I came through, and it was walking
yeah,
into, you're walking into somebody's living room
yeah,
of everybody that's been living together and knows each other well and like has connections, and you're
they're all
just like,
sitting in the
hi,
recliner around you, like,
hi,
should
I'm
I get up,
Bob. Yeah.
talk to this motherfucker?
I think I'm pretty good at it nowadays, man. As soon as I
Yeah,
walk into a shop, I gotta go introduce myself to every single
yeah.
person, shake hands, and like I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
it
with
just
you
kind
for
of
a
like shows
week.
your
Yeah.
like respect for the space, and
Yeah, yeah, yep. And
yeah,
yeah, I'm here to, I'm here for the whole experience, man.
yeah. You probably met some people in like one little, like for us, like you just popped in. I think I don't even know if I was in town. I was in town, right? I don't know. I remember being there for like a day.
Yeah, you were about to go out of town. So when I came through in 2017 on my bike with you guys, I feel like I just was like researching shops, and you guys had outstanding like reviews. Like there wasn't a bad review, and
Yeah,
that's why I think I reached out to you. And I remember you getting me back to me on an email, and I think we chatted on the phone, and you were super
yeah,
excited about what I was doing, and it was cool. And then, but yeah, when I rolled through, I met you at the shop early in the morning before you started your day, just come in and say
oh yeah,
what's
yeah,
up.
yeah,
And then I think you bounced to go somewhere. I don't know where you went.
yeah.
But yeah, everybody else of your crew was super welcoming and rad. And I got your Studio 21 shark tattoo
Yeah,
right
we
there
used to
from
throw
Nick
those on
Bones.
anybody and
Yeah,
everybody that
yeah,
came through.
yeah.
Dave Tevenall, I just saw him this weekend, and he was like, fucking throws
Right
it
on.
out there right as soon
Yeah.
as he walked up. He didn't say shit. He's all blessed.
Boom.
It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love those moments of like where we get out of our comfort zone, we talk to each other, we just connect with people, and then here we are today. Like that was that's a long time ago,
Yeah,
dude.
dude.
And
Shit, yeah.
and we
Yep.
maybe only like texted or talked through social media a few times. Oh, I
Few
think I
times.
got to ran into you like at
At that,
Van's shop
yeah,
and
at that
in
Denver Art
Denver.
Show, man.
Yeah,
Which, yeah, it had been a while since. I
that
mean,
was
I don't think I've seen you since I was out here in 2017. So what, like 8 years or something like that?
yeah.
7, 8 years or something. Yeah.
That's always been like one of my favorite parts about tattooing and that community, and just we'll just like if you start doing a lot of conventions too, you forget how you even know each other or where you're even from.
Hmm.
You just kind of start,
Yeah.
you just run into each other and
It's
you're
like I
doing
know
the
we
thing.
go back, but
Have some funny ass stories, especially when you're like partying back in the day.
yeah.
But that's cool. So you've been keeping motivated, and you're gonna do. You're working at Heritage Tattoo this weekend,
Yep.
which is Aaron's shop and
Yep.
awesome
Saturday,
shop.
Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah. And what projects are you working on this weekend?
I got a Namakubi head. I got a client that I've done a few tattoos on his arm. He's got like a a tiger cobra on one thing, a devil head, and I think we did a wolf in flames on the other. We just got to do the background and fill out the sleeve. And my third appointment's going to be bummed that I don't remember off the top of my
Yeah.
head right now. I did have a cancellation,
Yeah.
so that's a bummer. But I have this client that has gotten tattooed by me probably 4 or 5 times, but never in the same location.
That's fun.
She's followed me around a little bit, yeah. So she was going to come out. She lives in Austin, and come out to Vegas to get another piece in a different location.
Oh, that's cool.
Unfortunately, woke up with a fever the other day and
Ah.
didn't want to get people sick, so she's just going to reschedule for Denver. But
Yeah.
that means we would have tattooed her twice in Denver. But
Yeah.
I need to plan a guest spot to meet her somewhere before we do that. But yeah, it's going to be a good weekend. I'm excited to meet some of those guys and hang out. And
Yeah.
then that's the end of the trip, man. And then we're renting a car. My buddy Cody came down from Till Death, and we're going to work in the shop this weekend. And then we're renting a car, and we're just beelining it back to Denver.
Feel good? Do you look forward to road trips after
Yeah,
in a different way?
I mean, I don't know. Sometimes, honestly, dude, I haven't had a car in 20 years.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess
And,
I didn't ask you that this morning. You were talking about rent and stuff.
Man.
Like,
yeah. I don't know. When I moved to Durango, it's such a small town, you didn't need one. And then I just never really thought about it, So like, I'm okay when I'm driving, but sometimes when I'm in other people's cars, I get a little woozy. I wouldn't say car sick, but like,
oh really?
when I remember hearing this like story fable thing about like this Buddhist monk that was traveling on a plane, and wherever his destination was, he got off the plane and he went and found the quiet place in the airport, and he just laid down, and he was laying there for so long that finally somebody came up to him and said, are you okay? Like, what's going on? And his response is like, I'm fine. I'm just waiting for my soul to catch up with me, because he traveled too fast,
Whoa.
And that's how I feel when I drive.
No
ride in
shit.
cars now. That I get done. I'm a little disoriented. Like, I gotta wait for my soul to catch up with me.
Dang. Yeah.
But yeah, it should be a cool road trip, man. We're going through Monument Valley and up through Moab, and then up and over the Rockies and shoot down to Denver. So yeah.
What are some of your favorite spots? I mean, I know you mentioned you really like the desert. You like riding through the desert.
Just everything west of the Rockies, dude.
Really?
Yeah. And maybe just because I grew up in the East and it's new, but it's just more open land, man. I mean, everything from going up over the Rockies and to desert, and then the California coast, man. Even when you look at a map, like, there's all these roads and congestion and stuff like this, on the East Coast, from like Mississippi River over, and then all up here is fewer roads. So, as far as doing it on a bicycle, you want, more open space and less congestion, less traffic and all that kind of stuff, man.
Yeah, that makes sense. You ride on the interstate ever?
I have, yeah. I mean, I rode on the interstate yesterday, man.
Okay.
15 for a while, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's what
Generally, the rule and laws for interstate is that if there's a alternative, it's going to be illegal. But if there's not an alternative, you could do it. Okay. And you're probably most likely going to be in a really rural area when you can.
Okay.
Interstate riding is a different animal. You do have plenty of shoulder. It's like 1.5 lanes wide, so you have plenty of room. You're not worried about, the traffic. But you have a lot of debris.
And I was just wondering about the winds too, of like a big rig cruises by.
It'll push you around a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think the bigger challenge is that you have a lot of shredded tires.
Yeah.
From trucks that has the
steel,
like wire belts kind of hanging out. They will give you a flat. Glass will give you a flat. All that kind of stuff. And then it's tricky coming up to exits or on ramps or exits, right? Where you gotta. If it's an exit, you got to keep your eye on your mirror.
Yeah.
And if there's somebody that needs to get off, you got to make that decision. Do I have enough gusto to get the fuck out of the way before they need to get off, or am I going to back off and let they go? So it's this like elegant dance of traffic that you're dealing with, and the on ramps you got to check and make sure where that person is coming on and get back over to the shoulder. So, I mean, it's, it's not the worst, but it's not the most peaceful. It keeps you on your toes more.
Yeah.
But again, man, you're in that moment right then. There's nothing else matters. That you're just fucking dialed in, focused, man, And
those
and there's
cars
something to
are
be said
hauling
about
ass.
that, like being like in the moment, not wandering, because sometimes I'm thinking about something completely different when I'm on a road that's got nobody on it,
Yeah.
But in that sense, dude, you're living that moment right then and there.
Damn.
And that's a cool experience.
Yeah. Are you listening to a lot of books or music or anything
Yeah,
while you're out
I got
there?
music,
Yeah.
music, podcast stuff. I got a Bluetooth speaker mounted on my handlebars.
Oh, okay, cool. So
Yeah,
you'll keep your ears open and then just have
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I wouldn't want headphones in or anything like that where I can't hear stuff coming up.
yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
No, yeah, it's no good.
But I mean, you do it long enough that even sometimes the music is just like I go back and forth. Sometimes I just want the peaceful quietness,
Yeah,
and then music definitely helps me on through the harder times to focus on something else.
yeah,
And sometimes you get in the groove, man. You start dancing on your bike to the music, And
yeah.
yeah,
That's
totally,
fun.
dude. Start
Yeah.
having fun,
Well, yeah,
man.
you're
Start
entertaining
like weaving
yourself and
around and
yeah,
like, yeah, man.
just
I
out there
wonder how many
alone,
fucking
dude.
cars had seen me coming down, like literally dancing on my bike, singing along. Like
That's fun.
that dude's having a great time right there, man. I wonder if it's inspired anybody else to go do it.
Yeah. And then also like I don't know why I was just thinking too about like emotions like welling up every once in a while or something, like I sometimes like if like this I don't know if it sounds weird like if you do like I do like a good amount of hot yoga
Mm.
and sometimes like days you go in there is like it's a really fucking emotional
Oh yeah,
experience, dude, and you
yeah.
just feel like if you're overwhelmed or anything like
Oh
that,
yeah,
that stuff just comes out of you,
yeah.
and I'll just feel like you're like tear up randomly or something.
Yeah. I've been
Yeah, I
there.
just wonder
Absolutely,
if you're
dude.
like just riding along in the middle
Well,
of nowhere, and just sometimes you just go and down those rabbit holes in your
yeah.
head, and you're like,
Yeah, because you have nothing but time to think about stuff, and
or even
you
just pure happiness too. It's like,
absolutely,
yeah,
man. And I think there's a therapeutic quality to it that, like, I think that's when I first got into road biking, man. Like, I was living in Durango, and I would wake up super early in the summer, like 5 o'clock, leave the house at 5:30, and I would go climb some mountain pass, and you're waking. All these animals are waking up, herds of elk crossing fields, and it's super beautiful, and then you come bombing down, back into town at like 40, 45 miles per hour.
yeah,
And there's just something really therapeutic to it, man. And yeah, it could bring up emotions. I think there's something to be said about endorphin highs.
yeah,
They're real for sure, like runner's high. You hear people talk about that. And yeah, I think there's something cleansing about it for sure.
yeah.
Yeah. But sometimes also too, you could start revisiting old things that you're like, man, I thought we were done thinking about this.
Really?
What the fuck's going on? Why is this coming back? Why is this popping in my head again, man? Shut the fuck up already,
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
So
Yeah,
but I guess maybe in those senses, I hadn't worked through some of those things. I don't know.
yeah,
The psyche's a weird thing, man.
yeah. That's a trip, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think being alone is a really tough thing, but really fantastic at the same time. Just
Yeah,
like anything,
I wouldn't say it's for everybody, man. I feel like
Yeah.
I have a little bit of a higher tolerance, just in general. I think like, I've always, as a younger child, I was more of a introverted, shy, quiet character that, I've experienced a lot of time, you know, by myself, working on artwork, doing this, doing that, the other thing. So I think I just over my life I've built up more of a tolerance for
Yeah.
being solo and being alone sometimes. Where I know people that are the exact opposite, that like, man, they would lose their mind if they were 6 hours by themselves. So it's
Yeah.
everybody's different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think as an artist, I don't know, I spend a lot, like, we spend a lot of time by ourselves
yeah,
drawing, so it's like I've always felt very comfortable with that and
yeah,
actually admired that I do enjoy that time alone.
yeah.
But I'm also a very social person and I do love talking, so I find that balance. But sometimes when you're pushed into those like 2-day rides, I'm sure where, like you said, you just like
Yeah.
don't talk to
Well,
anybody.
I mean,
You're
but
like,
that brings
fuck.
in the great balance of the rides and the guest spots, right?
Yeah.
I consider myself a pretty conversational tattooer when I get my clients on my table, man. So it's like, yeah, I go through these couple of days of kind of solitude, and then when I hit these spots and I meet, these clients for the first time, and then it's like, all right, let's tattoo you and let's have a good fucking time doing it, man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sometimes I kind of look around and everyone else is like just doing their tattoos, and I'm like, am I annoying everybody because I'm not shutting up, man? You know,
You're
I feel like I
excited.
used to be a little bit more boisterous about it. It's been a conscious effort for me to dial it in and not be so
Oh,
rambunctious
okay,
sometimes when I'm
okay.
talking in shops, you know.
Yeah,
But I'm the whole time, man. We're talking about everything from like food recommendations to what shows have you been binging to
yeah.
like whatever.
The
Just
basic fun in it, yeah.
yeah, just getting them to know people and having a good time tattooing them and all that.
How often do you walk into a shop and you're just like, I don't know if this is my vibe. Like,
Oh man,
it's like I feel like it's had
not
to
much,
happen.
dude,
Yeah,
not much. I mean, there's one or two shops that will remain nameless when I
yeah.
was full time that I was just kind of like, what?
The
Like,
fuck, like
yeah,
just the
yeah,
weirdest environment ever.
yeah,
Yeah,
just unwelcoming and like, you know, just kind of blow you off. It's like, okay, whatever. Well, I mean, we don't have to,
be besties or
be
anything. It's
besties,
just
but
like what,
like, if another
like
tattooer came into my shop, I'd be like, oh, hey, what's up?
totally.
A little bit. But yeah, I mean, and honestly, most shops are like that. Most
Yeah,
shops are pretty welcoming. Tattooers are tattooers, and there's camaraderie amongst us all, and there's community amongst us all. But yeah, every now and then you hit an odd duck that you're just like, all right, well, I'm
just
just gonna do
I'm
my
just yeah. I'm
tattoos,
just
and
gonna do my
we're never
tattoo
gonna
and
see each other again.
yeah.
So.
That's good though. I'm glad it's a lot less. Obviously, I
Yeah,
think
dude.
overall it is like most people are fucking, especially if they already like somehow linked through you with a friend of a friend or something.
Sure.
Like they're
Or
already
just
they're
like,
in that
yeah,
circle.
just reaching
They're
out. I
yeah
mean, yeah, honestly, I've probably with guest spots and all. I mean, I would imagine I would be pushing like somewhere close to 80 to 100 shops I've been through, right? And
yeah
like I said, it's like one or two.
yeah
So 1 or
yeah
2%, I guess,
exactly.
right? Yeah,
That's
that's
great.
not bad. Yeah.
Dang. Well, so I'm excited too. You were mentioning earlier about this bigger ride that you're potentially trying to like do next year,
Yeah,
right?
I
It was
mean
like
the wheels are already turning, no pun intended.
yeah,
About next year's tour. Like I feel like it's gonna be a yearly thing. So yeah, there was it's the 50th anniversary of Bicentennial, and most people probably won't know what that is. But in 1976, to celebrate the bicentennial year, a couple of cyclists organized this route across America that starts in Astoria, Oregon, and goes to Norfolk, Virginia, and it's around 4,500 miles long,
damn.
and it's called the Bicycle Route 76, and they organized it, and there was over 4,000 people that participated in it that year. Not the whole thing, but sections.
Yeah.
So it's the 50th anniversary of it in 2026. I'm turning 50 years old. It's my 10-year anniversary of getting into bicycle touring. So yeah, I think that's gonna have to be the one, man, and it's gonna be longer than this one. I would like to do 50 tattoos and tattoo in every state that I go through. Hit 50 tattoos along the way, and encourage people to come out and join me, man. I know there's
That's cool.
other tattooers that do cycling stuff and do some touring here and there, and maybe they haven't combined the two. But I want to encourage people to come out and join if you want.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna have to do the whole thing. Like if you want to go, hey man, like I want to hit like a week with you
Yeah.
and hit some shops together. I mean that would be super rad, and I think it would be cool to have that experience of going through it with other people, and even if you don't tattoo, like I said, a lot of people watch from afar and encourage. Like you want to come out and ride for a couple of days if I'm coming through your state or whatever, come meet me.
So
I
cool.
think I'm gonna have to start like really because this one's gonna take a lot of plans, especially if there's other people involved. There's a lot of moving parts. So yeah, I'm gonna go home, relax for a month or so, and then I think I'm gonna have to start figuring out the logistics of how to make that happen and start letting people know where they could get in touch with me about getting involved in it.
Yeah.
And just see what happens with it, man. I
Yeah.
think it would be
It's real cool.
take it to the next level, right?
Yeah.
And just promoting, healthy behaviors and cycling and cool tattoos and seeing the country and
Yeah.
turn people on to some different things if they're into it, man. And have some company, man. Yeah, I think it would be rad.
Do you usually shoot like with your iPhone, or do you ever been motivated to bring along like a decent camera or anything?
I've always done just iPhone stuff, man.
Yeah,
I'm not the most technically advanced person
yeah.
with everything, but I've kicked around and I've never used the drone, but I've looked at
Ah,
some stuff,
yeah.
man, and like the drone technology keeps getting better, and like I definitely follow other cyclists, that do bicycle touring stuff and that utilize drone footage shit, man, and like you could launch it and have it follow
Follow.
you
It's so
as
cool.
you roll through this epic scenic, and it just captures
Yeah.
it all,
And they're
man.
smaller now
And
too,
they're
and they're cheaper,
smaller and they're
man.
packable
Yeah,
and all that kind of stuff. So
that might be kind of fun.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
think to have that footage. But then some times, man, I'm like, I don't
just
wanna
another thing to fucking.
well, I don't want to focus so much like I don't want to focus so much on the documentary part of it. The main thing is to focus on what's going on, man.
Yeah,
And there's certain things that I see sometimes just being out on the road that I just kind of, like you'll be, say you're riding like the most scenic, epic part of Highway One, in Oregon or something,
yeah,
and you're coming down the coast, and I see these people driving in their cars, and it's always the person, sitting in the passenger seat, and they're filming everything with their phone,
yeah. But
and they're staring at it through their screen
instead of
and it's
soaking,
right there
yeah,
in front of them. But
agreed.
they're
Yeah,
watching it on their screen, which you could pull up a YouTube video and see that
yeah, 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 yeah.
aspect of it. And I just wonder how, after that day is gone, how often do you actually go back and watch that
Never,
footage? You
never.
don't. So you
Yeah,
just missed out experiencing something IRL, as the kids say, by staring at your phone and experiencing it for you. It's mind
yeah,
boggling sometimes. It's right there, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
take it in,
yeah,
pull over, smell the air.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
don't. But we're in that culture of everything staring at the phone. So I mean, like, I don't know. So there's a both sides of it, right? Drone
yeah,
footage would be cool, but then how much of my day am I fucking dealing with this drone and editing the footage and not just being like, I experienced it and I'm gonna let that live in my memory, and if I need to experience it again, I'm gonna go back there.
yeah,
So there's that aspect of the duality of what you want to do with
yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that show Alone. I don't know if you've ever seen that, where
I've seen parts
they
of it. Yeah.
claim they like film it all themselves, but I'm like, I don't really understand how that works. Like,
Uh,
you're just out in the middle of nowhere. Like, I know how much work it is to always like get everything put up and put together and make sure the angle's
right.
right. And I'm like,
Maybe they take lessons before they go on the
yeah,
show. Like
maybe, yeah.
the producers like give them a little you know,
But it adds, like
week
you
long
said, it's just
crash
like this
course.
whole other thing. I mean, that's like a challenge in tattooing right now, right? Where we're all of a sudden we all feel, I guess not, yeah, in tattooing we all feel like now we have to like document everything and like
Sure.
share it,
Yep.
and it has to be good,
Gotta
and
get
like
those likes, man.
you got to be a director and a
Yeah.
lighting technician and a fucking editor, and
Oh, and
it
make
gets
and
hard.
making
It gets exhausting.
skits
Yeah,
and all
yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I've never been that good at any of that shit. Just,
No,
yeah,
no.
like,
And I guess maybe it works for some people, and but I don't know. Sometimes I see those skits, and sometimes they're funny,
yeah,
enjoyable, but I mean sometimes they're cringy and like
yeah.
I don't know. Like, why don't you? How many hours did you spend doing that today? Where you could have been like drawn and like coming up with something cool to tattoo instead, man. Like,
Yeah.
like I don't know. But
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
where it's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
Everyone can do what they want to do and have fun with what they're doing, regardless of what it is. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's the uniqueness of it.
I like your pictures of you in front of the every state sign lately.
Oh yeah,
That's
I mean
cool.
yeah,
It's just like a simple thing.
when I was doing it full time, and I was trying to collect all 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many? So have you done all 50?
Nah,
Yeah. What are you
close,
lacking?
dude.
Where you want to get to?
Shit. So I feel like there's two different things going on. So like, I crossed some states across America where I wasn't tattooing. And then when I went to go tattoo, I cleaned the slate and I was like, you need to tattoo and ride through all 50, right? So as far as tattooing and riding, I've done like 32 or something like that.
Okay.
But as far as just riding through, I think it's like 38 to 40. There's two major chunks I haven't tackled, and one of them's the middle of the country, north.
Oh, okay.
North Dakota, South Dakota, Michigan,
That'd be like a summertime ride, obviously,
Kansas,
right? Like,
yeah,
yeah,
that whole area, which I mean, parts of those places they're not the most exciting. They're just a lot of cornfields and stuff like
yeah.
that. And then the other section of the country is the southeast kind of section. So like Georgia, the Carolinas, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida,
Okay.
which in bicycle touring communities there's kind of known as not the most bicycle friendly areas,
Oh, okay.
where you will deal with people throwing shit at you.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah, too. Is like how often you got in a weird fucking situation where you're like,
I mean, nothing too crazy. One of the things that stick out is I love Oregon. It's a beautiful place, but goddamn, man, you got the most highest percentage of kind of douchebags and diesel trucks that like to coal roll you as they pass and blow
oh,
black smoke on you.
see, I wouldn't expect that from the Pacific. I guess
You
I
always
think
think of
Pacific
Portland.
Northwest. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
everyone thinks Oregon is nothing but Portland, but it's not, man. You get outside
Yeah,
of that, it's very rural.
yeah.
Everyone's got a diesel, and it's like you almost,
The coal roll. That's so fucked up,
dude, and
man.
you
Yeah,
almost like you could hear those coming up, and you're like, it's gonna happen, and guarantee
yeah.
it's gonna happen, dude.
Ugh.
And like, I've learned to not give satisfaction to it.
Yeah.
So like I just keep my head
Act like it
down and
didn't
like
even
nothing
happen.
happened because
Yeah.
that dude
Wants
that
to fuck
just
with
did
you.
that is watching his rearview mirror and he wants to get his shits and giggles
Yeah.
by watching you be like, you fucking motherfucker, and like, look how mad he got.
Yeah.
And then, another aspect of me goes, man, you know what? If that's what that makes that dude happy on a daily basis is do that to somebody that's minding their own business that has nothing to do with him,
Yeah.
that I kind of feel a little bit sorry that
Yeah,
that's
totally.
how he
Yeah.
gets joy in life,
Yeah.
is to just randomly fuck with somebody that he has, so then I'm like,
Yeah, like
whatever,
he's
that's his life, and if that's what he needs, that sucks, man,
yeah.
it's definitely something that you have to practice on not getting frustrated on, and
Yeah,
just let it go, man.
throwing
Just let
shit
it
at you
go.
or like squirting you. Like I've been
I've,
sprayed with fucking something, and all
yeah,
these different kinds. I don't
I've
know.
never had shit thrown or sprayed.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like I might have had like a car or two like buzz me intentionally, come really close,
that's what
but
a weird fucked up sense of humor too.
yeah, I
It's
mean,
like,
accident you hit somebody, it's
dude,
a whole different thing.
yeah,
Yeah. But I've also gotten into the mindset, man, that like I'm not one of these people like you didn't give me 3 feet. I've definitely
yeah, you can't
learned
expect that, right?
no, because
Yeah.
there's also times I'm riding where there is no shoulder, and you have to become nerves of steel, and you have to get comfortable with a car being inches away from you,
Oh,
and that you're focusing on where you are and what you're doing, and you're hoping they're doing what they need to do, and you can go coexist, and everyone just does what they need to do, and it's going to be fine,
yeah,
and you
yeah,
have to
yeah,
put your faith in that, and you can't get worked up or irate because you're the one who's ideally going out to play in traffic.
yeah.
You know,
you're gonna
like
lose. Yeah,
my decision is, hey, I'm going to go out and play in traffic.
yeah,
So I can't get, worked up when it gets uncomfortable because this is my choice to do
yeah,
so. So yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with close encounters. But again, I've never been hit by a car, man.
yeah. That's crazy.
Which yeah, knock on wood.
Yeah, yeah,
And yeah.
yeah,
I'm out there doing my thing and they're doing their thing and the universe works the way the universe works, and if it's meant to happen in a disastrous way, so be it, I
yeah.
guess. I don't know, man.
Yeah, you ever end up in just like rolling through some sketch ass neighborhoods too, though?
Yeah,
Then they
yeah.
kind of probably more look at you like you're a fucking alien.
Yeah, like what
like
the
all
fuck
bagged up
is,
and everything,
yeah,
and tan and
what the
fucking
fuck is this guy going
tired.
on? Yeah, yeah. That's the one thing about following Google Maps sometimes on the bicycle
Right?
icon,
They
man.
give zero fucks about like the
Yeah,
neighborhood
it's
that's
just telling you how to
pushing you
get
there.
there, man. Like, I mean, you could go through some undesirable areas and stuff, and
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard some like, "Yo, nice bike," kind of shit. And you're like, "Oh, all right," and then like you go, "Okay, well, I'm gonna not stop at red lights in
Yeah,
this town," and
yeah,
and just try and But the thing is too is you don't know how if you're going deeper into a sketchy area or you're like on the outskirts. How long is this gonna go? And but you get through them, and at the end of the day, let's see what tomorrow has.
fuck, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I get that's what keeps you on your toes, keeps you alive, keeps
Yeah,
you rolling,
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Damn. Well, dude, I'm so excited to have you come by, man.
Thanks,
I
man.
just,
It's been cool.
yeah, like I want to just thank you for taking the time,
Oh
and
yeah, dude.
it's really
Definitely good
cool.
to reconnect, man, for
Like,
sure. Yeah.
really, really love everything you're doing, and I
Oh,
don't know,
thanks.
I've
I
just
appreciate
always
that
been like
support.
excited and stoked to watch it from a
Yeah,
distance.
it's
It's
fun,
cool.
huh?
And like I said, you did inspire me. I got a bike. I was riding there
Right on.
25, 30 miles a day in the
Well,
morning
you
pretty
got a
consistently.
year to get in shape, man, because we're
Okay.
gonna be hitting that trail
Okay.
together.
Yeah, I noticed there's a lot of great trails like up in Montana. We spent some time up there, and
Yeah.
just stunning like scenery and shit.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine like spending the whole day like doing that would be so beautiful.
Yeah, I mean the organization that established that Route 76 is in Missoula, Montana. It's called Venture Cyclist,
Yeah.
or
Go
Venture
check that out.
Cycling, and they have their offices there. And that route goes through Missoula, and you go visit them, and they give you
Yeah.
some soda and ice cream and stuff, and give you a little tour. They're good
That's
people out
cool.
there doing good work. So
That's rad.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, damn, dude. I hope you have a great weekend in Vegas
thanks,
tattooing,
dude.
and we had a fun breakfast this morning. It was
Sure
cool.
did, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hit the
yeah,
Pepper Mill. It was like an
yeah,
old school like Vegas on the strip
yeah,
breakfast
yeah.
spot with some
Yeah,
fake trees and
yeah.
neon lighting and shit.
Yeah, it was good, man. I honestly, from passing it, because it's compared to everything around it, it's so like I don't know, it's just not as glitzy and glamoury as everything
Yeah, it's
else.
this
So I was just
like
like,
odd little tiny
yeah,
one-story building in the middle
yeah,
of Las Vegas Boulevard.
the fuck they do breakfast, right, man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, so like, so how can we find you? How do we get a hold of you and everything?
I mean, my Instagram is bicycle Bob's tattoo TAT and the number 2 with underscores in between the bicycle Bob's and the tattoo.
Yeah,
And yeah, I mean, mostly my stuff's on there. I'm not the best with checking the DMs on there. It even says in the bio, please no DMs,
yeah,
and but my email information's on there. You could, link to the email button there and shoot me an email if it's, something you need to get in touch with as far as getting tattooed or, getting involved in the trip. But I'll be announcing more info on that as it comes to fruition. Yeah, and that's where I'm at.
yeah. Tattooing, riding your bike. Yeah, you don't have much free time to text anyway. You either got bloody gloves on or you're fucking riding
Yeah,
across the
yeah,
country.
yeah. And I don't have a secretary as a lot of people have
Yeah,
these days, man. Maybe I need to get one of those.
yeah,
But yeah, I do like the hands-on approach of responding to people personally and
yeah,
starting our, tattoo relationship together from the first contact to the wrap of the bandage type of deal.
yeah. Well, you're a very talented tattooer too, man. I
Oh,
watch your
thanks,
stuff, and
dude.
you're
It's fun,
hand.
man.
Like a fan of and a nerd about just illustrators these days,
Mm,
and
mm.
it seems a little like few and far between these days for people that are really pushing to do unique, different stuff. And you've always like
Yeah.
pulled that
Yeah.
right
I mean,
there.
I
So
like to take iconic imagery and just
yeah,
put a different twist on it, mash things up, and do something like people like, oh, I know that, but I've never seen it done with that take on it,
yeah.
and classic stuff, and the whole nine,
I
and
like all the
yeah,
wizard biker shit too.
yeah,
Yeah, that's fun.
totally.
I love it.
Thanks.
Well, thank you again, dude. And you guys definitely like tune into everything Bob's doing. He's fucking Bob Lackard, right?
Lackner,
Yeah.
Lackner, Ner.
Lackner.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. And thanks for listening, guys. And we'll see you around. Support
Peace.
your local tattooer. Peace.